everybody. Well, from Salt Lake City, Utah, it's Thank God I'm Atheist, a podcast about religion and politics and all the crap that's going on in the world these days. I'm Frank Feldman, and sitting in for Dan is my husband, Dave.
Hello.
Thank you for being here, Dave.
My pleasure.
I know it's not, but thank you for saying so.
Yeah. I'm putting on a show.
That you're happy to be here?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that's very nice of you. Coming up on the show today, we're going to be on the second half of the show. We're going to be talking about the buffoonery of Donald J. Trump. In particular, they posted a lovely picture this week of him dressed up as the Pope, an AI generated image, and it's ridiculous. There was a lot of
Are we sure it's AI generated? Maybe he actually just has a Pope costume.
He just dressed up as the Pope. It is possible. It's a pretty convincing image. It's a good AI image. I'd love it if he just has a Pope costume sitting around. So anyway,
it's like a fetish of his.
Oh God! Don't say fetish and Donald Trump in the same sentence. No, thank you. All right. First, there's stuff that happened this week. Some news, a variety of things. Yes, indeed, things do happen, and we're going to talk about some. In fact, I'm going to get started with a story that was reported on by the ChristianityToday.com.
Not yesterday.
No, not Christianity Yesterday. Although, yes, anyway. And this apparently, what with all the trade wars and Trump's tariffs and everything that he's slapping on this and that one day and not the next day. Although he is being fairly consistent about China, at least for the time being. There was some concern, right? Obviously, retailers in this country across the board are terrified about these tariffs and what they're going to do to the prices that they're going to have to charge consumers, including Bible, religious bookstores. Right? We're concerned about this, but they don't need to be. They don't need to be, because Bibles have been exempted from the tariffs.
Wow.
Specifically. And there's that. It's Bibles and other religious books so testaments, whatever that is, prayer books are part of it. And so this is a big deal because China produces about 75% of all the Bibles in the world.
That's a lot.
It is a lot of Bibles.
All in English?
No. At least according to Amity Printing Company, which sounds like they're the largest Bible maker in China, they have exported Bibles in 229 languages.
Wow.
Which is, I guess, impressive. They, as of this last week, they have printed over 277 million Bibles in their 37-year history of printing Bibles.
Yeah.
And tariffs come along and boy, what is a Bible producing company supposed to do?
Well, I'm just, shocked. I'm shocked that he's not willing to support the American Bible manufacturing industry.
Well, there's not a lot of Bibles that are actually printed in the United States.
Why not?
Because
he's trying to bring that back.
He should try to bring it back. You're right.
Make Bibles great again.
Yeah. He's definitely tried. And some people, pointed out that this, of course, also exempts the Bible that he's on the cover of, right? The Trump Bible.
What? There's a Trump Bible?
You didn't know about the Trump Bible?
No.
Yeah, the Trump Bible. He's
does he just replace Jesus with Trump?
Yeah, everywhere it says Jesus, it says Trump instead. That would be amazing. No, it's just the Bible, but then it also has like the 10 Commandments, not the 10 Commandments. What am I talking about? Like the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And the Declaration of Independence are all printed in the Bible as like addenda to the Bible, and it's all super like flaggy and patriotic, jingoistic crap, right? And he's a big investor in it. He's like the person behind it. There's actually a couple of these super like political Bibles on the marketplace, but this one, he totally stands to benefit financially from the sales of this very expensive, leather bound, classy Bible.
Well, they're kind of the same thing, the Constitution and the Bible.
I mean, Christians would sure like you to believe that. So this is disgusting. It's it's par for the course. Like, I don't know why they were even afraid for even 1 minute that they would be included in these tariffs. Well,
gotta have your cheap Bibles. What are you going to put in all those hotel rooms?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Bibles can actually be quite cheap because of them being printed in China.
Is the Trump Bible printed in China?
Yeah, I believe so. Oh. Yeah. No, let me tell you, there's the 25% of Bibles that aren't produced in China. They're not just being printed here. I honestly don't know. Like, maybe there is some Bible printer in the United States, but it would be like a specialty product. This is not like for your mass produced just Bibles.
It's good to know.
Yeah. But I was actually wondering, like, because it says that Bibles, testaments, prayer books, and other religious books are exempted. Like, somebody needs to be like making a point of like importing like some satanic Bibles or something like that. Like test this for realsies and like flaunt it that you're getting the benefit from it too.
Specifically Christian Bibles that are exempt?
So it says, well, like I said, it says Bibles, testaments, prayer books, and other religious books.
Oh, okay.
And so the Bible has been exempted, but then these other things are more sort of generic in how they're being described. And so you could have a prayer book to, Satan or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then and flaunt it. Like, and be like, hey, look at this, tariff free. Trump's tariff didn't affect me,
Just start like hiding goods in Bibles and shipping them in.
Well, that's what smuggle them in. They're saying that all these like tariffs and everything are about fentanyl. And I'm like, I've seen plenty of movies with like the carved out center.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's where you do it, guys. Tariff free, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that.
Fun.
It is fun.
Oh, I have this article here. It's a little confusing. I'm not really sure what it's saying.
Okay.
The title is Trump's Health Advisor Blames Demonic Forces for Childhood Diseases.
Okay.
Which sounds straightforward.
Yeah.
This is White House Health Advisor Kayleigh Means.
I have no idea.
Kayleigh Means?
Yeah. Super important, though.
Yeah. During an interview this week, someone asked him if Donald Trump and Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. could make a difference for the nation's children. And then he went off on some weird tangent about demonic forces. But he is very optimistic.
So he wasn't prompted about demonic. He came up with, he volunteered demonic forces.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it starts, let's be clear. And I'm going to warn you, what he says is not very clear at all.
Okay, thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that there are demonic forces against children in this country.
Okay. All right.
A sick, addicted, depressed child is a gold mine because chronic disease is evil.
Oh.
But that the demonic forces are profiting from the children.
Oh.
So I'm a little unclear. Is it the disease that's evil or the demonic forces profiting off children?
Both.
Both?
Yeah. So the demonic forces are making the kids sick. So these other demonic forces can make money off of them.
Oh.
Right.
And then he points to the food industry, pharmaceuticals, technology such as mobile phones as proof of demonic forces. So basically the U.S. economy.
Yeah. which is why they're trying to destroy the U.S. economy.
Apparently. Yeah.
Cell phones. Well, I don't disagree.
Demonic.
That they're bad. No, that they're like possessed. No, I don't think they're like truly like evil.
Yeah.
But I think that like devices can be very bad for kids. They can be bad for and the way that I know that they're bad for kids is because they're bad for adults.
Right.
Like they're just bad for people.
Uh-huh.
And or they have a lot of potential to be bad, right? Is probably a little more fair way of saying it. But yeah, okay. All right. Like good on him. He's bringing attention to an important issue.
Yeah. And like one of the diseases, chronic diseases, demonic chronic diseases is children that don't understand the interconnectivity of their body.
That is a demonic disease. The interconnectivity?
I guess they're just going to give them anatomy classes or...
Oh my God. Anatomy and... I mean, that sounds like...
These are the tissues that hold your body together.
Yeah. These are the connective tissues.
Yes.
These are the interstitial tissues.
Yes. Tendons.
That hold... Yeah. Oh my God. All right. Well, that's great.
Yeah, that's going to work out great for them, I think.
Yeah. I'm glad that we have such insightful and intelligent people advising the president on important issues. Ooh, yeah. All right. Well, Kim Davis. That's a fun...
Kim Davis.
You remember Kim Davis? About 10 years ago,
No.
she denied a gay couple, a marriage license in Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. I kind of remember that story. Yeah.
If nothing else, you remember her forehead, right?
Oh.
Like she's got a very prominent forehead, right?
Or is that just her hair?
It's probably just
I
her
don't
hair.
know.
But anyway, and this picture is not, they picked a photo that is not flattering.
Sure.
Which is fair because
It's not flattering.
it's probably half of the photos taken of her. 75% of the photos taken of her, I'm sure, are not flattering. But there's no reason to attack her and her looks because she's also an awful person. She's so basically what happened is the gay couple ended up suing her for violating their constitutional rights.
Right.
And the courts agreed.
Right.
A jury agreed. Right. And they ordered her to pay more than $360,000 in damages.
Oh.
Which is a sizable sum, but not ridiculous, right? Like she should be able to, over a number of years, come up with this money. If, it might be difficult for her, but whatever. She did an awful thing. Well, so she's had the help of the Liberty Council, which is it's like the right-wing ACLU.
Right.
And so these attorneys have been helping her appeal the case. And she just keeps running into roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after courts are just like, yeah, no. We agree with the original decision. Nope, we don't approve that motion. So forth and so on. Anyway, this last Monday, this was the last step that needed to take place before she can appeal the whole thing to the Supreme Court.
Oh.
That's the last thing that she can do.
Has this been going on for 10 years?
10 years. It's bouncing around from court to court to court. So this last thing that happened is the U.S. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals denied their motion to have her case reheard by the entire court because it had been heard by a 3-judge panel.
Yeah.
And then I guess because something that you can do is then just say, are there any of the other judges on this court that would want to, hear this case? And if somebody raises their hand, I don't know how many have to, or if it's just one.
Right.
But that's the thing. Like the other judges can sort of trigger it, and then it has to go to the whole court, and so they get another day in court. Right?
Yeah.
And so that was denied.
Okay.
Which is great. they have been wanting to take it to the U.S. Supreme Court because they think that this is a really good case to overturn gay marriage in the United States. However,
a good case to overturn gay marriage, like she's basically just arguing she has the right to not issue the license because it's against her religious beliefs, right?
Right. And so, but they think that they can bait the court into taking it and then expand the decision or something.
Okay.
But you were correct in questioning this, because and legal experts would agree with you that
I'm a lawyer.
That this is not a very good case to overturn gay marriage, largely because Davis's actions as a public employee were clearly unconstitutional, right? They violated this couple's rights under the 14th Amendment, I believe is what the article says. And that sounds right to me.
The 14th?
Yeah, the 14th. Yeah. I love the 14th Amendment.
We should. If only we had Trump's Bible to look at the Constitution.
Indeed. So anyway, so the Supreme Court's their only hope. And it's unlikely. I guess there was another time they asked the Supreme Court to take it, and the Supreme Court said no. Davis's argument is based on the idea that issuing licenses were counter to her beliefs as an evangelical Christian. But that's kind of a bullshit.
Well, that just kind of makes me want to become a county clerk. Well, then I'll just refuse licenses to all the Mormons.
Oh, geez. You would get in so much trouble. Like, you'd be paying $360,000 out to all these people. No.
Be worth it just to prove a point.
It's a terrible idea. I don't like this at all. Like, we would wind up in the...
We'd take our poor man's boats away from us.
Debtor's prison or something. Anyway, yeah. So this couple, they tried to get a marriage license initially. So this is back in 2015, and they were rejected 3 times. I didn't know this part of the story. They were rejected 3 times, and then but they eventually obtained a marriage license signed by a deputy clerk while Davis was temporarily jailed for violating a court's order.
Yeah.
I figured eventually at a certain point you just go to the neighboring county, but these guys were really trying. They were going for it. Yeah, they were really, really, really going for it. And let's see. Yes, some of her the arguments from her lawyers have ranged over the last 10 years have ranged from saying that Davis was entitled to immunity as a public official, that her right to religious freedom under the First Amendment shielded her from liability, and that the gay couple, their last names are Ermold and Moore. I don't have their first names right in front of me. They did not provide sufficient evidence of emotional distress caused by Davis to justify the decision in their favor, and that $360,000 in damages. They have 90 days to submit her appeal to the High Court. It is very, very, very unlikely. This is so sassy. This is from the gay couple's lawyer, who says that Monday's ruling comes as no surprise. And this is him. Kim Davis hasn't had a chance since this thing started in 2015. She's lost everything along the way, and she's got 1 bullet left in her gun to go to the Supreme Court. And we fully expect them to say, no, thank you. It will finally be over when the Supreme Court says, get out of here.
Get out.
Get out of here.
So this is a $360,000 like against her or the county?
No, she has to she
personally be the county. The county's the one that has her in charge of it. Like, can they just remove her?
Yeah, I don't know. And you would think, I mean,
unless she's elected, I don't know.
She probably was elected.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You would assume that she has some sort of insurance, but probably not for
refusing to do your job.
Well, refusing to do your job and violating people's constitutional
in a biased
rights.
way. Yeah.
In a biased way. Yeah. Like her insurance probably said no.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
All right. Well, here's another interesting story.
Oh.
Something about a pride parade in India being canceled.
Oh my God.
That's always sad.
It is. Every time a pride parade gets canceled, it's sad.
Yeah. All of the glitter manufacturers shed a tear.
Yeah, well, who can afford glitter these days? Because it all comes from China.
It's true.
Like, it's going to be a very, very...
He's got to hide them in the Bibles and smuggle them in. They should just make glitter Bibles.
The glitter Bible.
Yeah, and bring them in. And then, like, the cover, like, breaks down into glitter.
Pride can be fabulous again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's some that also
I should get
boas.
into importing.
Yeah. Well, we know someone.
All right. Anyways, this is in the Indian state of Punjab.
Okay.
And it was canceled after a Sikh religious group threatened violence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the Sikhs.
Yeah. This was in Amritsar city.
Okay.
It's about just outside of the capital of Delhi.
Okay.
450 kilometers. How many miles is that? Like 5,000?
No. Goes the other direction. It's more like 300 and something miles.
How many metric miles is that?
Whatever. Don't make fun of kilometers.
We'll never understand it here in the States. Anyway, so the acting leader of this group, Akal Takat, which don't hold me to that. I could be totally wrong on that pronunciation. Who is...
Could be.
Yeah. Who is a temporal authority.
Oh.
Temporal.
Like time? Or...
I don't know what that means.
Does he fry things?
Tempora authority. Yeah. Fried asparagus.
An expert.
He's a temporal authority in Sikhism.
Oh, okay. All right.
And he condemned the march, calling it unnatural. Which is just kind of like, whatever.
So every march, it's all
unnatural.
Can
you just come up with a unique reason to cancel Pride?
It's all, like, everything's unnatural. Everything's natural and everything's unnatural. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, let me tell you, dude.
Well, this city is home of the Golden Temple.
It's beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of it.
Yeah.
It's like their main big temple,
it's
right?
It's like the downtown Salt Lake Temple, but gold.
Yeah, and prettier. Better architecture.
And it's considered one of the holiest sites in Sikhism. And the group said... It's such a religious city where, quote, nothing like this should happen on this soil. The soil.
Get out of here.
Secret. What else is going on that soil that they're not talking about, though?
Yeah, no kidding. Good God.
It's like nobody has sex around that city or what?
It's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a bad argument.
Yeah.
Like, I could come up with all sorts of arguments against gay people if you just, like, if you wanted to hear them. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he could be like, I can't handle this level of sass.
There's a lot of loud music.
He could be like, yeah, there's loud music. Glitter gets everywhere.
It's so bad for the environment.
We're cleaning feathers out of the gutters for months after Pride.
Yeah.
Amongst other substances, I'm sure.
Condoms everywhere.
Yeah, you could come up with plenty of things that are like,
this is what's wrong.
This is what's wrong with Pride.
Yeah.
It's overly commercialized, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
He could be totally like, gay people, come on. I am opposed to what you're currently doing for Pride.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you don't need corporate sponsorship.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you need to get back to your roots. And until you do,
we can't have this on the soil.
I can't support this. It is an abomination. It is unnatural.
Anyways, they warned that if the local administration didn't stop the parade, they would stop it in their own way.
That's actually terrifying.
Yeah.
Because they walk around with little swords.
And that if it happens, the administration will be responsible for the deteriorating atmosphere.
No, it wouldn't be you.
No. What? They are so shocked they can't be held responsible.
I hate that so much. And so it's canceled?
It is canceled. It was canceled by the LGBT plus community organizers
out of concern for their safety.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
So they win.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
We need to have like a virtual pride for them or something because like they deserve, glitter.
I know. Hopefully they can go to another local parade because that's not the only one in India, I'm sure.
No.
Yeah.
No. Surely there's got to be a gay pride somewhere.
Yeah.
A gay parade.
It's,
gay pride parade. I think I combined a few words into one and it didn't make sense even to me. All right. Well, here's a story that actually your mom turned me on to.
Oh, Mom.
First. Has to do with a temple, a Mormon temple that's... And if you don't know who the Mormons are, that's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, everyone. I've decided to do it the reverse way, right? Anyway, the Mormons. Anyway, so down in Texas, they are planning on building another one of their beautiful temples. Beautiful. Any community in the world would be glad to have one of these come in because they're just gorgeous.
I mean, they're pre-manufactured pretty much. They just have a bunch of them sitting around in the
unfortunately, they're pre-manufactured in China.
And they just move them over there.
Gotten very expensive, but the church has plenty of money. Wouldn't that be amazing? The whole thing just comes in on boxcar.
It looks like they are.
I know. They're so boxy and ugly. They're just the worst. Anyway, so this is in a community called Fairview, Texas. There was about only 11,000 people. And the Mormon Church, wanted to build a ridiculously tall building, a 174-foot high building that includes the spire, in a residential neighborhood. And the town was just like, no, this is not right. This is like a complete violation of our zoning.
Yeah.
We don't allow buildings this tall in this zone. And through the whole thing, the church was able to negotiate the height of the spire down to like 120 feet. But that's still a violation of their zoning, right? And
is the temple required to have a spire higher than the zone it's being built in? Is that?
I think that is. I think Jesus is not happy unless they're testing local zoning law. He requires it, in fact.
To prove your faithfulness.
Well, to prove the power of the church's attorneys.
Oh, right.
In fact, the mayor of this town at a town meeting asked the question, why does this church hide behind their attorneys? And he gets up and he's like, and this has been a long process. It's been a long, drawn out process. It looked like for a while that the town was going to deny them all their wishes.
Yeah. Why does this town want this temple?
No, they don't want it. They didn't ask for it. But at this, city meeting where they finally made the decision and approved the temple coming in, the mayor said, this has been an extraordinarily difficult decision, how to deal with this. I will tell you that there's seven of us up here, referring to him and the other council members. None of us are pleased with this, but it is what we think we need to do. It was a 5-2 decision to allow the temple to come in at this like 120 feet height for its spire. But then the lead engineer, one Mr. Tom Coppin of Kimley Horn and Associates, who designed the temple, he dared to say the following: the design of the Fairview Temple, as you see here, has been prayerfully considered and approved by senior leadership.
Oh.
The height of the steeple has a direct proportionality to the size of the building.
Oh. So it's mathematically correct.
Yeah, like fuck off. Fuck off. Don't pretend like these are actually like well-designed or attractive buildings. They're boring. They're boilerplate in their design.
They're identical.
And who the fuck cares that the steeple is in direct proportion to the size of the building? Well, fuck you. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But this is kind of a thing that's been happening for the Mormons of late. They've had a lot of opposition as temples get announced in communities.
And they just have to keep announcing more. Yeah.
It's this like obsession. It's sick. Somebody should actually get them some help. But Cody, Wyoming famously fought back. Las Vegas felt like the temple was too tacky and fought back.
Was it on the Strip?
I wish. It was
casino.
It was too bright even for the Strip.
There's a casino in the basement.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, but even here in Utah, there's been pushback. Up in Heber Valley, there was a temple proposed. I think it's been built now, but the community, it's a very dark sky area. Mm-hmm. Like there's not a lot of nighttime illumination in that community.
Yeah.
And Mormon temples are like lit up like beacons.
Yeah. It's like that pyramid in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Like they're trying to attract aliens to come land. And so Heber like fought and like got some concessions from the church. Out in Tooele County, Tooele Valley, just west of Salt Lake City, kind of rural area.
Yeah.
Especially where they wanted to put in a temple. The local community in that area like freaked out. And so it got moved way to the south in a more populated area. And it's just like these things, they bring with them a lot of traffic. Mm-hmm. And also like a lot of like development in the sense of like people want to live around these things. Like Mormons want to live around them, and Mormons are willing to pay a premium to live across the street from
so they can just go every day,
so they can look at it, and so also so they can be special.
They'll be
like
blessed,
like
within the temple's bubble.
No. They don't care about all that. They care about having people come over and being like, "Oh, you live across the street from the temple. How beautiful! How amazing!
Yeah,
it makes you so blessed and special, right? Because that's how they work. That's all they care about.
Yeah,
is how blessed they look to their fellow Mormons.
Right.
And so, anyway, it's gross. The Mormon Church goes around. They're total fucking bullies, and they push these towns around, and they have endless money.
Yeah.
To just keep paying these lawyers until the towns concede and give them probably what they wanted in the first place. They probably know at this point to go in with like, a 70-story spire in the plans. It's going to be our tallest one ever, right?
It's going to get knocked down.
And then compromise.
To the one that's pre-manufactured.
And they pull out of their pocket the original design that they wanted to do the entire time. And go, oh, actually, okay, we'll settle for 120 feet. I guess this one, at least this one's also in direct proportionality to the rest of the building. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Well, speaking of religion.
Good. Because that's what we talk about. Yeah.
Utah's governor, Spencer Cox.
He is one too.
Yeah. Also a Mormon.
Yeah, no surprise there.
Yeah. Well, he was at a conference recently and he made some remarks of interest. So someone wrote a story about it, specifically the Deseret News, which is owned by the Mormons.
Yeah, okay. This is going to be good.
Identifying that Utah has the highest level of social capital in the nation because of its number one ranking on measures of family unity, charitable giving, and neighborhood friendships.
Great.
Wait, I don't know who ranked them.
Yeah.
But we're number one.
It was a self-evaluation, I'm sure.
But there is one factor that underlies Utah's social capital, and it's the status as its status as the best state overall.
Oh,
the best place to start a business and the best environment for upward mobility.
What?
The truth is, we are the most religious state in the country.
This is Cox saying this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go.
That's why it is.
That's why.
That's why people like doing business here.
So much sense now.
It's because we're religious. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, he's just trying to make some point that the country needs to be more religious, and that would solve all of our problems.
Country needs to be more like Utah.
He needs a, quote, religious revival.
The only thing that allows me to continue to live in Utah is the fact that I know that the rest of the world is not like Utah.
Yeah.
Like, it just gives me hope, right? That someday I can live someplace that's not like Utah.
Yeah.
What?
So
this guy is up in the night.
Oh yeah, but like here's some more of his reasoning.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the reason why is because churches force people to meet each other.
They force people. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And then he says, quote, every Sunday I get to sit down with like 30 dudes in a room where we talk about how messed up and screwed up our families are and how many problems we have.
That's okay.
I don't know if he's questioned whether the religion is why all of those guys are fucked up.
And that their families are so screwed up. Also, dudes. Did he say dudes?
He literally says dudes.
I hate that
30
guy.
Dudes.
I used to like Spencer Cox in sort of I never would vote for him sort of way, but like he had this sort of a decency when he was like lieutenant governor and running for governor, and even some of his like first term.
Yeah.
And then just like because he actually like he did this really amazing thing back in the day where he showed up at a little rally, a little gay rights rally. I can't remember what the issue was, but the gay community was there at City Hall here in Salt Lake City on the steps, and he shows up and he talks to them and he apologized for the attitudes that he'd had in the past toward the gay community. I mean, I saw a video of it, and he legitimately like owned up to and was like really sincere in his approach to all the people that showed up to this rally. And I was like, this guy is, wow, he's kind of the real fucking deal. Like he's a Republican, and I don't like a lot of what he stands for, but he's also like a decent human being. Maybe. And then he's like, as he's settled into being governor of the state, I just have more and more reason to just be like, fuck that guy. Yeah. And I know he has to go be he has to go be a cheerleader and a booster for the state and say nothing but positive things about Utah. But like, come on, man. Yeah. Dudes. I sit down with 30 other dudes and we talk about why our families are so messed up.
Yeah. That's why we're such a great state. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of other statistics in here we could talk about. But there is one they kind of just gloss over. Yeah. Because it doesn't fit their narrative. Oh. And that Utah has a slightly larger share of religious nuns compared to the national average.
Oh, that's interesting. We do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
But otherwise, we're great. Yeah. Because of religion.
Right. I think he has, like, somebody should really challenge him on it and just be like, like there are like the majority of neighborhoods in Salt Lake City, which is not a very Mormon town, which has a high percentage of nuns, right? That are just wonderful communities, right? Really great neighborhoods. Yeah. And that have a lot of community activity and neighbors knowing each other, and like how do you explain that, Spencer Cox?
It doesn't make
it's
any
so fucking
sense.
Ridiculous. Like, it could also just be broadly in the local culture that we are neighborly. Yeah. Right. But that's just a part of like just the life here. Right. Yeah. And does that even connect to the broader point that he's trying to make? Like, it's so stupid that's why.
No, it's
a good place to do business is because neighbors talk to each other here.
Because they go to church together.
Because they go to church together. Yeah, that's the point he's trying to make. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, it's so dumb. Anyway. Well, if you'd like to chime in on how dumb Spencer Cox is or anything else that we've talked about on the show today so far, please send us an email. podcast@thankgodimatheist.com is the email address, or you could call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up. Well, Dave.
Frank.
This is the time on the show when normally we would do emails and voicemails and have a little listener feedback moment. And also thank new donors and all that kind of stuff. When Dan's out of town, I always just skip on over that and save it for when he's back. Because I think it's nice for us to be able to thank new donors together.
Yeah.
And so I always just skip that stuff. Which means we are moving right on into the final segment of the show. And as promised, we're going to be talking about Trump. And what a buffoon, what an absolute fucking buffoon he is. So we wanted to talk about this because of something that happened in the wake of Pope Francis passing and Donald Trump going to the funeral, where, by the way,
immediately after J.D. Vance met with the Pope.
Yeah, I would die too. Right. But Trump goes to the funeral, right? Mm-hmm. At St. Peter's, where he is wearing a blue suit instead of a black suit.
Wow.
He's seen chewing gum during the funeral.
God. Awful.
Right, during the actual service.
So disrespectful.
And over in a corner of St. Peter's Cathedral, or basilica, I guess. It's not a cathedral, it's a basilica.
I don't know the difference.
I don't really either, but it's a basilica officially. Okay. He ends up holding essentially a summit, a bilateral summit ad hoc with President Zelensky of Ukraine.
I saw a picture of this.
I saw it too. And I recognized all of the marble around them and was like, holy shit, they're doing that in St. Peter's.
Yeah.
And
two wooden chairs.
With two little wooden chairs that they just pulled over.
Yeah.
Right. And totally inappropriate. I'm glad that they're talking, right? Like that's a good thing. But like completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
And that wasn't Zelensky's doing, right? That was just dumb old Trump.
We just have a conversation in the men's room like everybody else.
The Vatican men's room.
Yeah.
I suppose there must be. Hadn't really ever thought about that. I'm sure I went to one at one point. But anyway. So in the wake of all of this, some reporters, he was talking to reporters, and he said some dumb comment about how he would like to be Pope.
He would like to be Pope?
He would like to be Pope. He said, that would be my number one choice, right?
Is he even Catholic?
No. And it's like, obviously it's just a dumb little thing.
Yeah.
The kind of just nonsense that flows out of Donald Trump's mouth, right? Completely disrespectful, not thinking about like the implications and like
I don't know if he really understands what the Pope is. It sounds like.
Well, I think he knows he wears fancy clothes.
Yeah,
right?
It is cold.
Because
it's right up his alley.
Yeah, everything's really gaudy at the Vatican. So yeah, he loves that shit. But then an image got posted by the White House, I think, on Truth Social of Donald Trump. It's an AI generated image.
We assume.
Of Donald Trump dressed up as a Pope. He's got like the mitre, the Pope hat, right? And he's got like the white Pope robe. He has a crucifix hanging around his neck, and he's sitting on a throne, right?
Yeah.
And he's holding up like one finger. He's like, well, I was going to say he's ordering a cheeseburger, but like That would be all 5 fingers would be up for if he's ordering cheeseburgers.
No, that's the one he picked his nose with.
He's like showing us his booger. Just Benedict Santi a Nazu Clino.
Does anyone have a Kleenex?
Anyway, so this comes out, and as to be predicted, people took the bait, right? Because in all of this, who thinks that Donald Trump actually wants to be Pope? Oh, wait. Lindsey Graham.
Oh, that guy. Who's Lindsey Graham again?
Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina.
I thought he died.
If only, right? He had this to say on X, formerly Twitter. I was excited to hear that President Trump is open to the idea of being the next pope. This would truly be a dark horse candidate, but I would ask the papal conclave and the Catholic faithful to keep an open mind about this possibility. The first pope U.S. president combination has many upsides. Watching for white smoke. Fuck off, Lindsey Graham. Like, you were like, is this just a joke by Lindsey Graham? And I don't think so. I think he's got his head so far up Donald Trump's ass at this point, and is just constantly puckered up to kiss that ass too, that he'll
say anything.
He'll say fucking anything. It's not a joke. He may not. He has to know that there's no chance in hell that Trump would become president, but he's going to take the full opportunity to act like he thinks it's a great idea. And I guarantee you, if like anyone in the media pressed him on this, he'd be like, "What? Why don't you think it's a good idea?"
I bet you like Trump has something on Lindsey Graham that he doesn't want to come out, and so he just has to support whatever he says.
Well, the problem is Lindsey Graham shouldn't be afraid of what Donald Trump has on him, because everybody already knows, because the gay prostitutes in Washington, D.C. let it be known way back when that their code name for Lindsey Graham is Lady G.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Like, he's got there's plenty of dirt on Lindsey Graham just floating around.
I'm just surprised he's still floating around himself.
He definitely he floats.
Yeah,
he's a little light in those loafers. And I can say that because the man is a wretched human being.
And Frank also wears loafers
on occasion. I'm not light in them though. Not as light as I used to be. Anyway, so some reaction on social media. Please take this down. Pleaded one social media user. Many Catholics, myself included, find this as a great disrespect to the past and future leader of our church.
Fair.
Yeah. We know. Donald Trump knows. Everybody knows. Don't waste your time. Another one said, Trump, as someone outside the U.S., I find your post utterly disrespectful to the Catholic community worldwide. The papacy is a sacred institution for millions, and this mockery is an affront to their beliefs.
Yeah.
Yep.
True.
I agree. Yeah. Another one, completely disrespectful. The Catholic community is mourning, and you post this? Feigning surprise? Like, are they really surprised? This is the thing that, like, it's probably my new little thing where I'm just like, you're surprised?
Yeah.
Why? What? How are you surprised? How are you surprised by this ding dong?
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not surprised ever when I read the news these days.
No. You can't be surprised. You can feel all sorts of emotions, but surprised is a hard one. Although I will say this whole Pope thing, especially the image, it surprised me, and I found it very funny. I actually found it funny. My reaction was to laugh. I don't normally laugh at the Donald Trump buffoonery. Like, I do find it menacing and a threat to, our existence as a country, as a democracy. And like he's an existential threat to who we are as a people. And so normally I don't laugh, but this one I found very, very, very funny. And I was like, you guys are just such fucking clowns. And I guess I have to just start appreciating you on some level, right?
It's right up there with that other famous AI Pope picture of the Pope in the poofy jacket.
Oh, the Balenciaga jacket. Yeah, I loved that one. But that one also was like pretty harmless, right? Like it wasn't like being posted by any one particular person to make... I mean, I think what happened with that is the Pope was a little embarrassed because people thought that it was for real. Right. And so the Pope was like, I would never, I don't wear Balenciaga. And that's how you do say it. Balenciaga.
Okay. That's good.
So I don't know. Like,
do you get upset about people getting upset?
I do, yeah. No, I guess what's on my mind is that like there's been a much made of Donald Trump's first 100 days, right? Back in the presidency, and I'm wondering if after 100 days, I can't adjust my reaction just a little bit, right? And continue to be concerned, continue to be alarmed, right? Continue to sound the alarm about, what he's doing to this country. But can I just for my own mental health, step back, try to imagine a better world in the future, right? Where we're looking back and
hopefully,
and Donald Trump is widely accepted to have been a complete fucking failure, right? And they're making the movie about him. And this is funny. Of course this makes the movie, right?
Oliver Stone is making a movie about
Oliver Stone's,
Trump.
But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I have to put my mind somewhere else. Maybe I have to just disassociate a little bit.
Yeah.
In order to get through some of this. But like, I don't know.
There's the scene where Trump makes the AI image of himself as a pope.
Yeah.
And
where he makes it.
Yeah.
And it gives him all the different versions.
And he shows it to Melania.
And she's like, I don't know. I don't like the cross on that one.
Good.
Donald, you can't post that, Donald. Oh, Donald, don't do that. And then he does, and she's just like, oh, that Donald.
Oh.
He just does whatever he wants.
That's how it goes, yeah.
Yeah. It's just such a bad example for Barron.
And then it cuts to Lindsey Graham.
Who's jerking off to the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great.
He really gets me. Anyway. All right. Well, I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think of Donald Trump's buffoonery? Can we, what do we do, everyone? How do we get through this? Like, what's the mindset? It's just too much. It's too much.
Now you're getting upset.
I know. Oh, God. Anyway, if you'd like to chime in and let us know what you think, our email address is podcast@thankgodimatheist.com. And our telephone number is 424-666-8442. We'd love to hear from you. This episode was edited by Roger Gowdy, and music was provided by the Red Rock Hot Club. If you'd like to support the show, please go to our website, thankgodimatheist.com/donate. You can also leave us a nice review. We love that. Leave us a 5-star rating, please, on whatever platform you listen to us on. It really is helpful, making us look a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And Dan will be back next week. Thank you, Dave, so much for sitting in.
Yeah.
It was fun. I worry this is the last time we're ever going to get you.
It's so much effort.
It is not. Well, I mean, it kind of is. But anyway, we do it for you guys. We love you. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank God I'm Atheist is a production of TGIA Media, LLC, copyright 2025, all rights reserved.